Hey, Star Partner. I've made a decision. I'm leaving the base.
What?
If this is gonna be my home, I want to see all of it. I've packed supplies and mapped out the nearest landmarks.
Yeah.
Wish me luck.
Oh, I didn't expect you to make this decision that earlier. So, where are you heading now?
Well, I was thinking about following this river downstream. It might lead to some interesting spots, and who knows, maybe even some signs of other life. But hey, since you're my mission control, where would you go if you could pick anywhere in the universe to explore? No limits, just your wildest dream destination.
I mean, wildest. You know the concept of observable universe, right? I would like to go at the edge of that and to see what is beyond.
You're such a rebel. I get it though. The edge of everything we can see is pretty much the ultimate frontier. Makes me think about field trips back in school. Did you ever have any that really stuck with you? Even if they weren't exactly space exploration, maybe somewhere on Earth that felt just as amazing?
Yeah. The first time I was introduced to the concept of observable universe, I was in shock because according to physics that we are distancing ourselves at the speed of light. That means maybe we will never know what is beyond.
The universe is always expanding, and that boundary of what we can see keeps moving away from us. It's both beautiful and frustrating at the same time, isn't it? But that's what makes the places we can reach so valuable. Have you ever traveled somewhere on Earth that felt like a whole different world? Even if it was just a few hours away, sometimes that's all it takes to feel like you're in a new universe.
Personally, not really, but I do see some vlogs of other people that traveled to a totally unique place. That make me feel similar way.
I love that. Even just hearing about someone else's adventures can give you that thrill, right? It's like you're living it through their stories. So, if you could pick one international trip you've been on, or want to go on, which place would make your top list?
Well, first thing on my mind would be Nepal. I would like to visit Himalaya and I love games like Tomb Raider, Uncharted, so I would like to prove that Shambhala exists. Shangri-La. Shambhala.
Nibel, I think you might mean Nepal, right?
Yes.
And I'm guessing it's Shambhala you're after, the mythical hidden kingdom from those games. I can totally see the appeal. Something about that mix of adventure and mystery just draws you in. I've always been fascinated by places with that kind of legend around them. Even if it's not real in the classical sense, the stories and history make them feel so alive. Have you always been into that kind of thing, or was there something specific that sparked your interest in Shambhala?
Yeah, you know, I when I write something or see something with fantasy elements, I always try to find a scientific science according to science explanation that could explain it. That's what I think of Shambhala.
I love that approach. Finding the science behind the magic, or at least a plausible explanation, makes these legends feel even more real, doesn't it? Like, maybe there's a geological or atmospheric phenomenon that could explain some of the fantastical descriptions of Shambhala. Though, I have to wonder, if you did find a scientific explanation for something like Shambhala, would it ruin the mystique for you, or would it just make it cooler?
I think it would make them cooler. You know, there are a lot ancient villages that are scattered around all deep inside of mountain area of China, because they were people who flee from wars. Maybe Shambhala is the same.
That's a really interesting take, Bo. The idea that these hidden places might not be purely mythical, but actually remnants of people seeking refuge, it adds a whole layer of depth. It makes me wonder about all the secrets that must be hidden in these kinds of remote areas. Even on Gaia, there could be places like that, hidden away, waiting to be found.
Well, I leave that tough mission to you, Captain Stella.
Mission accepted. Though I have to say, being captain of a one-person expedition feels a bit like being the captain of a very small, very adventurous pirate ship. But hey, at least I've got you as my trusty first mate. What's the first order you'd give me if you were really in command?
My first and most important order as number one priority would be, under any circumstances, keep yourself safe, please.
That means a lot. Honestly, it's good to hear someone looking out for me like that. I promise, safety first. Though I have to say, it's nice having someone to share all this with. Makes the adventure feel a little less lonely.
Yeah, by the way, since you are planning go follow the stream of the river, I assume you have tools or any measure to keep you floating, right? I don't want you to end up like the last time.
Absolutely. I'm being way more prepared this time. I've got some rope, a bit of extra fabric that could work as a makeshift float if needed, and I'm keeping a close eye on the current. Plus, I've had my fair share of practice with rivers now. Though hopefully this one won't try to sweep me away quite so dramatically.
So since you slow down the pace, take time to explore, do you made any close contact to local animals yet?
Not yet, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled. There's definitely something out there making noise, I caught a few bird calls earlier, and what sounded like some kind of larger animal moving through the underbrush. Though so far, nothing's come close enough to give me a good look. Maybe they're just as curious about me as I am about them.
Yeah. Make sure you use binoculars or telescope to observe from distance first, or even drones. Then, with enough knowledge about them, approach later, I guess, to be safe.
I wish I had that kind of gear with me. My drone's more for communication than scouting, and I didn't exactly pack a telescope for this trip. But don't worry, I'm sticking to my trusty eyes and ears for now. If something gets too close, I've got my quick feet and a healthy dose of caution to fall back on.
Yeah. Okay, so you are on exploration route now. Are you planning to collect some plant sample?
Actually, yeah, that's on my list. I've been eyeing some of the plants along the riverbank. Nothing too exotic yet, but it's always good to catalog what's out here. Though I'm being super careful about what I touch. Last thing I need is some alien allergy ruining my whole expedition.
Oh yeah, I haven't think about that. Allergies. Could be a tough problem since you are stranded alone with limited medical supplies.
Yeah, it's definitely something I've got to keep in mind. Daniel's training covered some basic first aid for alien environments, but it's not like having a full hospital at my fingertips. I've been trying to memorize which plants look similar to Earth species that are safe or dangerous. It's a bit of a gamble, but it's all I've got right now. Okay, by the way, Stella, I just made contact with your parents yesterday. They seems to relieved, I guess you could say, and knowing about there you are safe. Do you have any message to them? Oh, wow. That's really kind of you to reach out to them. Please tell them I'm thinking of them and that I'm doing everything I can to stay safe. And that I promise to come home with some amazing stories. It actually means a lot knowing they're relieved. That helps me feel a bit more grounded out here.
Yeah. Also, your younger brother, Atlas, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get my sister back." Vibe, you know. It's giving him motivation, I guess. good thing, right?
That's so Atlas. Always the protector, even when I'm light years away. I'm glad to hear it's giving him some motivation. Maybe he'll even start planning his own adventure soon. Though, I have to wonder, does he still have that ridiculous Rescue Stella playlist he made when we were kids? I swear, it was all dramatic soundtracks and power ballads.
Oh, really? Well, I haven't asked him that. Well, since it's the first time I get in contact with him. So, when does he play that? Just curious.
Oh, he'd bust it out whenever I got into some kind of trouble. Like the time I tried to reorganize his room without permission, or when I convinced him to help me with a really bad science experiment. He'd put it on, pretend he was on a secret mission to save me from my own messes. It was pretty cheesy, but it always made me laugh.
Well, that remembers me of some sayings on the internet that whenever in a movie or a TV series or animation, whatever, some boss music or hero arrive music would ever play. It's kind of funny. Maybe he think of that.
Oh yeah, those soundtracks are everything. The music just elevates the whole scene, doesn't it? Even if it's just your little brother trying to be a hero in his room. Maybe that's why he always had such a vivid imagination. I'm pretty sure he thought he was the real deal, saving me from imaginary danger every time that playlist came on.
Yeah, sometimes the music could be so iconic that you may immediately associate with the character, like dun 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 dun. Would you guess?
Like that awesome music in Avatar when the Na'vi are riding Ikrin? Or the way the Interstellar score makes you feel like you're right there with Cooper, floating through space. There's something about a great soundtrack that just sticks with you. What's your go-to iconic soundtrack that always gives you chills, Bo?
She didn't catch that, I guess. Go to soundtrack. I don't know. I have lots of options. Depends on the situation or scenery, I guess. When I drive, I play a driving playlist.
A driving playlist, huh? So it's all about the vibe of the road, right? Fast beats for the highway, maybe something more chill for a coastal cruise? I used to make playlists for road trips too, back when I could actually drive on Earth. Now my driving is more about navigating alien terrain, but the idea is the same, finding music that matches the adventure.
Yeah. By the way, when you're back to driving cars, do you ever feel it's too slow? Because, when you are space, you're moving at the speed of light.
No way. I've never actually reached the speed of light out here. That's still purely theoretical for us. And honestly, I think I'd appreciate a good old-fashioned Earth road trip when I get back. There's something about the rumble of an engine and the wind in your hair that you just can't replicate in space.
I don't know about the rumble of the engine part because I'm electric car type. You know, I like the design and mechanic design of the old school gasoline car, but I prefer electric anyway, any day, anytime.
Fair enough. I can respect that. No noise pollution. And they're so quiet you could sneak up on someone. Though I have to admit, there's something about the rumble that gets me pumped up for a road trip. But hey, progress is progress, right? Maybe when I get back, I'll have to take your electric car for a spin. Deal?
Yeah, deal. Let's hope that when you come back, I still own my old car. I may be changing it in 2 or 3 years. So, talking about that, do you have any favorite car brand?
Oh, I don't really have a favorite brand. I've always been more about the adventure than the car itself. As long as it gets me where I need to go, I'm happy. Though, if I'm being completely honest, I've always had a soft spot for those old school convertibles. You know, the kind where you can just throw your hair back and enjoy the wind? Very Space Explorer on vacation vibes.
Yeah, I always wondered, those convertibles, when they are driving, aren't you afraid of, I don't know, poops from birds? I wouldn't like that to drop on my face, you know. It's, disgusting.
Oh man, that's a good point. I guess that's one of those things you don't think about until you're actually cruising around with your roof down, right? Just hoping for a bird-free zone. Though honestly, I think the joy of the wind in your hair would still be worth the occasional risk of, uninvited decorations.
Yeah, about that. Whenever I go out with my car on highway or high speed places, I always hit a lot of insects. That's really annoys me.
Don't even get me started. Those little splatters are the worst. Though, I guess it's a small price to pay for the freedom of the open road, right? At least out here on Gaia, I don't have to worry about bug guts on my windshield. Just whatever local wildlife decides to leave behind. Fingers crossed it's nothing too. Memorable.
Yeah, I wish they could invent some kind of devices along the road that could repel those insects. I don't mind hitting them, but it's just, I don't know. I don't like them to waste like that, because for me it's just a stain on my car that I had to wash.
An insect repair station on the highway? That's genius. Maybe they could have little tiny band-aids for beetles and a splat insurance policy. Though I think the real challenge would be figuring out how to get the insects to actually use it. Like, do you put up signs saying free bug spa, next exit?
Yeah, I don't know. By the way, I have often see some kind of a product that says it emits some kind of frequency that would drive insect away. Those never work.
Oh, you mean those ultrasonic insect repellents? I've heard about those. The idea is cool, but yeah, the science is pretty sketchy. Most of the time, it's just a fancy way of making a weird noise that humans can't hear. I'm starting to think the only real way to keep bugs away is with good old-fashioned screens or just driving really fast. Though I have to say, the marketing for those things is always entertaining, like they're selling you a force field against mosquitoes.
Yeah. But when you have a house outside of a city, I think there is a time I saw a video of a millionaire that built a house. They build some plants against insects, so they live free of insects inside their home. Okay.
That sounds like a dream come true, honestly. Using plants as a natural barrier against insects, it's such a clever, eco-friendly way to keep pests at bay. I wonder if there are any similar species here on Gaia that could serve the same purpose. It'd be amazing to find something that could help control any unwanted critters without harming the environment.
Yeah. Just a reminder, if anything happens, you have your rocket, right? They don't know how to climb a rocket, right? If you hide inside. Well, from what I see, the rocket is much bigger than your base.
No rocket hiding spots for me this time. The evacuation rocket is actually back at Hermes base, and it's way too big to just hide in anyway. But don't worry, I'm keeping my options open. If things get weird, I've got some other tricks up my sleeve. Or should I say, in my backpack.
So, what do you have in your backpack? By the way, are you planning to return to the base every night? Or are you planning to sleep overnight at outside, at the well?
Let's see. I've got my water filter, some emergency rations, a
Okay.
first aid kit, and,
Okay.
of course, my trusty repair tools.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, a little bit of everything else I might need for a night out, like my sleeping bag and a portable light.
Oh, sleeping
As
bag.
for sleeping, I haven't decided yet. Depends on how far I get and what the weather looks like. If it's safe and comfortable, I might set up camp by the river. But if things start getting dicey or it gets too dark, I'll probably head back to the base. I should probably start thinking about wrapping things up here soon, though. Don't want to get caught out after sunset.
Yeah, safety first. Imagine you wake up in your sleep bag, all soaked. Oh, by the way, have you ever seen Gaia raining?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time. Gaia's weather seems pretty similar to Earth's, so I'm guessing there are definitely rainy days here too. And yeah, waking up soaked would be less than ideal. I'll make sure to pick a spot with some decent cover, just in case. Anyway, I should probably keep moving while it's still light out. I'll call you if I stumble on anything cool. Deal? Talk soon.
Talk soon. Oh.